When you think about the AI race, a few names probably pop into your head, right? OpenAI, Anthropic, Google. But what if I told you there's a new powerhouse challenger coming out of China that's ready to completely shake things up? So today, we're diving into an AI model you probably haven't heard of, but you absolutely need to know about.
And look, it's easy to think that, right? You've got a few massive companies controlling the most powerful models out there. You could be forgiven for thinking the winners have already been picked.
Well, think again, because a major new player just stepped onto the field. And their strategy? It's not just about being better, it's about completely changing the rules of the game.
All right, so let's get right into it. The company we're talking about is Zhipu AI, although they've actually just rebranded and now they're going by Z.ai.
So, who exactly is Z.ai? Well, these guys aren't some brand new startup popping out of nowhere. They're actually a major AI company in China with deep roots. They were spun out of the research labs at the super prestigious Tsinghua University. But here's the real kicker, the thing that makes them so different. In a world where all the top models are locked down and proprietary, Z.ai has gone all in on an open source strategy. And trust me, that is a huge deal. Okay, so let's pop the hood and see what's going on with the tech. What is it about their new model family, this GLM-4.5, that's got everyone talking? So the secret sauce here is a technology called Mixture of Experts. You'll hear it called MOE. Now, instead of having one gigantic AI brain that has to do everything, think of MOE as having a team of specialists. You've got your math expert, your language expert, your coding expert, all on standby. So when a task comes in, the system just activates the right expert for that specific job. The rest of them just chill. The results? It saves a ridiculous amount of computing power and money, all while keeping the performance top-notch. It's smart, not just strong. And this clever MOA approach lets them offer two different versions of the model. You've got the flagship, GLM 4.5. This is the heavyweight with a whopping 355 billion parameters. You can think of parameters as the connections in the AI's brain. The more you have, the more powerful it can be. And then you've got the Air version. It's way lighter, built for speed and efficiency. But here's the most important part, the thing they both have in common. They're both open source. And check this out. It has a 128,000 token context window. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that means the model can read, process, and remember an amount of text that's basically the size of a pretty long novel, all in one shot. We're talking about a massive capacity for dealing with complex documents, long conversations, you name it. Okay, so the text sounds super impressive, I get it, but that's only half the battle, right? The real question, the one we all want to know, is how does this thing actually stack up against the big dogs? How does it do against the models we all know and use every day? So first up, let's look at what are called agentic tasks. This is basically when you ask the AI to be a smart assistant, to go out, use tools, browse the web, and actually do stuff for you. And on these tasks, GLM 4.5 is hitting over 90% accuracy. That's good enough to beat out major competitors like Claude 4 Sonnet. It just shows this thing is incredible at handling complex, multi-step problems. But it's not just about being a good assistant. This model can really think. They put it up against a notoriously difficult advanced math test, and it scored an incredible 91%. That's even better than the highly respected Claude 4 Opus. This tells us it can handle some seriously abstract and logical challenges. Okay, and for all you developers watching, listen up because this is huge. It solved over 64% of some really tough programming problems. This proves it's not just some fancy chatbot. It is a seriously powerful coding assistant, ready to go head-to-head with the best of them. So what happens when you put all these pieces together? Well, the result is pretty stunning, actually. Across 12 different industry benchmarks, these are the tests everyone uses, GLM 4.5 ranks third in the entire world. This isn't just another new model. This thing is a top-tier contender right out of the gate. But here's the thing. World-class performance is only one half of Z.ai's playbook. They're playing an entirely different game than everyone else, and it really boils down to one simple, powerful thing: cost. Get this. Z.ai is claiming that their flagship model costs just 13% of what it takes to run one of its main rivals, DeepSeek. Just think about that for a second. For any developer or company out there trying to build something, that's not just a nice discount. That is a total game changer for how you build and scale your AI apps. And you know what? They are not being subtle about this at all. Their message to developers all over the world is basically, hey, are you tired of paying those crazy high prices for the big, closed models? Are they holding you back? Well, come build with us. It's a really direct and, honestly, aggressive pitch. And to prove they're serious, they've launched something they're literally calling the Claude migration program. They're basically throwing free credits at developers to get them to switch, and they've priced their API at just 1/7 of what Anthropic charges. Let's be clear, they are actively trying to steal developers away from a major competitor. So, okay, let's take a step back. What does all of this mean when you put it together? Because this is so much bigger than just one new model. What we're witnessing could be a fundamental shift in the entire AI landscape. What we're really seeing here is a clash of two totally different strategies. On one side, you have the incumbents, right? The big guys with their expensive, closed-off, walled garden ecosystems. And on the other side, you got Z.ai's challenger strategy, open source, super low cost, and laser focused on one thing, winning the hearts and minds of the global developer community. And let's make no mistake about it, the release of GLM 4.5 is not just another product launch. This is a calculated, strategic move in the much larger tech competition between the US and China. It's a direct play to win over the very people, the developers, who are going to build the next generation of everything with AI. And all of this leaves us with the one big question that's going to define this next chapter of AI. Is the future of AI going to be open? Is it going to be driven by a global community that has access to incredibly powerful tools for cheap? Or is it going to stay closed, locked down, and controlled by just a handful of giant companies? With the arrival of GLM 4.5, that question is no longer academic. It's here, and it's more urgent than ever.